Aloha from Kilipohe, Ike Lehua. People have been asking about how to keep pigs in Hawaii off their property, and this is the solution we came up with. This is an electric fence charger. I pay like $60, $70 for it at Tractor Supply. You can hear it ticking if you listen closely. And not a fancy installation, obviously. Really, I just wanted to see if it was going to work. It's just taped to the pole there. And then the wires, there's a ground wire that goes, down to this ground lug there. And then there's the charge wire that goes along, and it's just attached to these pieces of rebar, which I pound into the ground, because rebar is easy to get into the into the lava rock, through the lava rocks. These insulators, the little plastic insulator, I got those at Tractor Supply as well. I think they're like $7 or $8 per bag. I don't know if you can see it. Yeah, there's a T right here, so there's a strand that goes up this gully to keep pigs from running through this little gully. And then this strand runs up along the gate here and kind of keeps them from going between the gate and this little rock wall. Because that's kind of where we had the first set of problems with them. And so we're talking about maybe $20, if that, in the insulators. The rebar is, I think you could use 3/8. This is 1/2 inch. It would probably be better to use 3/8. That's $5 for 20 feet. And I just cut them to 18-inch lengths with a saw, and then put them in. I have a special saw for cutting metal, but you could probably use a hacksaw or a grinder. And it's nothing special. I'll try to go up here without getting shocked. Walk the whole line. I do this, walk the line, probably once a week or so, just to make sure branches or trees don't fall on it. I have to keep this whole thing weed whacked back, because otherwise, the growth will contact the wire and affect its ability to deter the pigs. And I don't know if you can still see the wire. Yeah, I can see it on the video. But it just kind of goes along, and obviously, it's not at a uniform height or anything. Here's a leaf. This obviously, well, no, it's contacting the ground, so if that gets wet, that'll reduce the effectiveness. And this is actually just a weight. That piece of rebar isn't even driven into the ground, because that's a big solid piece of lava right there. It's just holding the wire down a little bit so that it's not too high, because you want it to come in contact with the pigs at a reasonable height. And so, some people might worry that this is hurts the pigs or injures them in some way. And really it doesn't. I've been shocked by it many times. I'll be working and it's just not pleasant. That's the whole thing. It's just unpleasant. But I don't know if you can see right now. I'm like straddling it to keep from touching it. And yeah, it comes down this little gully, and I had to cut some trees back here to get it in between. And yeah, there we go. Now we're back into the free walking area. And just every few feet, wherever the wire kind of needs some support. There's a stake, goes up over hills. You can see it's really easy to put it in. And you know, I mean, obviously here, there's plenty of room here underneath, where if a pig were super smart and walked all the way down the wire here, he could duck underneath the wire right there and not get shocked. But they're not really that smart. In fact, I doubt they even see the wire. They just kind of go along and all of a sudden, beep, they get zapped. You hear them squeal in the middle of the night. And, you know, sometimes they get hung up in the wire and they'll pull it out and it'll break. We're going to get to a couple of spots back there where I've had to repair it. And you know, it's just a piece, it's aluminum wire. There's really nothing to it. Goes right around this banana here. I'm eventually going to have to route it a little bit further away because that banana keiki is getting really close to the wire. And then kind of back here, and so I didn't have to try to go past the compost corral. I just routed it back. This is HPPOA parkland. I just routed it back here. It's a nice open walkway. And you know, sometimes you can't get the rebar to go in the lava. I have a drill, a hammer drill, which I'll use, but sometimes I'll just put a couple rocks up against it, or put it in a pile of rocks or a log. That works really good. And they learn, the pigs will learn that this is a no-go zone, you know. But this is all wild area back here. There's pig wallows right in this area underneath these mango trees. There's all kinds of mud bogs and stuff where the pigs go and take mud baths. And so we're maybe right here, just a few feet off the property line. Here's a connection where, let's see, yeah, they've broken it, and then I just twisted the wire back together. And then another one right here. This is obviously, you know, this is where they come and go, right here. Then it comes back, and it comes back past this this little compost right to the property corner. Yeah, I'll have to weed whack this soon because it'll get overgrown, and once it starts growing on the wire, it will it'll reduce its effectiveness. And now we're coming back up towards the street again. And you know, it doesn't have to be straight. It doesn't have to be the same height everywhere. It just has to be this one wire that goes everywhere and keeps them out. Here's our callow patches right here. I mean, these guys, those are, I don't know how far away they are from being picked, but that's right on the other side of the wire. And we've heard the pigs come back in here and get zapped and go scurrying off. And they hang out in here too. This is all jungly pig wallow area. Back to the wire. So, you know, 2 or 3 pieces of rebar, a spool of wire. The most expensive thing is the Energizer thing. You know, this is a big, deep little gully here. So there's a lot of little connection points. See if I can come down here without getting broken my neck. But this one, that's actually just drilled right into that rock. So, you know, it's not stuck in the ground. It's just drilled into the rock. And this is a place where they had been coming through. It's a little gully that goes back into that empty lot. And, you know, and then this is the end of it. Right here, it ends right underneath this mango tree because Over here is all Uluhe field, and they don't really seem to go through that kind of stuff. It's pretty overgrown. I mean, maybe they could come around the end of that. I don't know if you can see the end right there, and there's nothing special to end in it. I just clip it off and then wrap it back around itself, so it doesn't. There's no chance it's going to come in contact with the ground. And once again, that's just drilled into that rock right there, and then tapped in with a sledgehammer. So there you go. That's the electric fence. Probably the cheapest way to keep pigs out of your garden in Hawaii. And so there you go. Aloha.